What is up, everybody? It's your boy Doody back again with another video, and this time we're taking a look at our boy DSP's daily rap video. And I was gonna post this video last night, but I decided I shouldn't just clip it and post it. I think it needs a little bit of content. So as you can see here, this came from DSP's daily rap video. As you can see, I posted the link in the video and a timestamp. And why did I do that? Well, apparently Phil hasn't learned his lesson from past discretions and decided to insult people and kind of make light and fun of mentally disabled or people with mental issues. And in the past, we all know that Phil's gotten in trouble for using these very words and divisive and just disgusting words. So of course, Phil here decides he wants to do it again because he feels like the detractors are ruining his life. Oh my lord, he sounds just like Wings. So anyway, I decided let's watch this video, provide a little bit of content, and if you guys want after the video, I posted the link right here and the timestamp. If you want to go ahead and report Phil for being a scumbag, go ahead and do it. I would appreciate it.
Well, here's the deal. Originally this weekend, it was going to be the usual schedule where on Saturday I have my React Day of DSP versus the internet, and I balance that with a late night gameplay stream. Sunday was going to be a daytime gameplay stream, and we were going to have no stream on Sunday night because I have to film my private Patreon React videos for the month. But sometimes things happen in life. I had some stuff going on behind the scenes, personal stuff that has literally nothing to do whatsoever with my streams, and quite frankly, I never would have even mentioned it to any of you if it didn't affect them. Well, it did. All right, I had to have an interruption to my stream today, no matter what, in the afternoon. And because I had to have this interruption, I knew that it was going to make more sense for it to be a standard gameplay stream today to be interrupted than my React stream. Why? Well, quite frankly, there are people who pay to be members of the channel DSP React to get their videos watched on this show every week. If I had a shortened show or a show that was interrupted and broken and disjointed, basically I'm kind of cheating those people out of the value of what they purchased being a member of the channel. That would be disingenuous of me. It'd basically be me overpromising and underdelivering. I don't like doing that. So because of that, I decided to move the React show. So today it was a full day of gameplay, and tomorrow will be my React content, which we'll talk about in just a moment. But I didn't know exactly what time today this interruption was going to happen yet. So because of that, I excuse me, I didn't really have an opportunity to plan everything perfectly. So what I said we would do is as follows. We'll do the Level 1 podcast in the morning. I will do my best to shorten the show to around an hour rather than over an hour to an hour and a half. That way we could have more time for gameplay of Final Fantasy 16. The main stream will be Final Fantasy 16. At some point it'll be interrupted. When it does, I'll let you know. I'll go on a break. I'll come back when I can and let you know when we're coming back for more gameplay. All right? That was the original plan. It didn't go down like that, and I'll tell you in a moment. The late stream tonight was going to be the conclusion of Diablo 4, if I could get that far, because some people weren't convinced I could do it. But regardless, that was the rough plan. So how did it happen? Well, we did the Level 1 podcast, and I did shorten it to about an hour. So we ended around noonish, and I said, all right, we're actually going to get ready, and we're going to try to jump in to Final Fantasy 16. So I end the podcast, and as I'm ending it, I get a phone call. Okay, the interruption's going to happen in a few minutes. And I was like, oh, so this is actually kind of earlier than I thought it was going to be at first. Like, okay, well, if the interruption has to happen now, then cool. What we can do is let's get the interruption out of the way first. Then let me come back from it. And then we'll just do solid gameplay with no interruption for the rest of the stream. Thing is, I didn't know how long this was going to take. So basically, I was told I was going to receive a second phone call only a couple minutes from when this interruption was going to happen. So stay tuned. It's going to happen soon. And I said to my audience, well, even though we ended the podcast, let's still just kind of chill for a little bit longer here on the stream and see, just talk until I get this second phone call. And so that's what we did. We ended up doing like 20 minutes of exclusive just talking on stream. Eventually, the second call came in. And I was told, all right, it's going to go down. All right, guys, I got to go. So I took a break. I put up the ads. I ran that. And basically, I was gone from stream from around 12:30 till almost 2 p.m. Pacific time. Okay? hilarious about this. So when this phone call came in, I literally grabbed my phone like this, all right? And I put it up to my ear like this. I muted the mic, and I even minimized everything. Like I went over to this screen, and on this screen here, where usually I have my, my stuff going, I think that I don't know if this camera was right here or if it was on the end, like the right-hand side over there. But anyway, it was all very, done quickly. And I showed nothing, because obviously it's my private life, has nothing to do with anything on stream. And I talked on the phone, muted it, no one could see it, no lip reading. I kind of put myself to the side so no one could see me or whatever, talking or whatever. And then I went on my merry way to do this thing that I needed to do. So it was about an hour and a half. My haters were frantically trying to screen grab my phone to figure out what the number was and who it was I was talking to on the phone. Now, keep in mind, I told you guys, I'm going to tell you the story of what happened tomorrow on the podcast. I outright said that today. I said, I will tell you the full story once the story is fully done and I can tell you the whole thing start to finish. Why tell you the beginning of a story before there's a resolution? Let me tell you the whole thing at once. It makes sense then, right?
Okay, so I just wanted to let Phil go on and spew his nonsense. So first of all, that little comment that he just made right now about telling the Dents, hey, I will tell you the full story on tomorrow's podcast is a lie. And I posted that video last night, where he clearly told the Dents, hey, as soon as I get this resolved, meaning that day, yesterday, he would tell everyone the story. And that's why a lot of people waited an hour on stream for him to come back to hear what happened. And of course he didn't. He then decided, he just brushed it off. And then on last night's stream, people were asking him, hey, what happened? You told us you were going to tell us a story. And then of course he lied and said, oh, I told you guys I was going to tell you on the podcast tomorrow. You guys have to wait and see. And then he went on with his lie. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, I have no idea who he's talking about. He's ranting and raving. I'm on Twitter and I follow most of the detractors, and I saw one picture. There was one picture. One person posted a picture regarding this. This wasn't like thousands of people on Twitter were posting that image and trying to decipher who the hell you were calling and talking to. No, Phil. And again, you love to exaggerate these things to prove a point, to try to make it seem like, see guys, my haters are terrible people. And and I love how you make it sound like, oh, this was some kind of trap, to trap the detractors. Very similar to your Firestone dilemma last year, where you ended up spending $1,200 just to prove a point to the detractors. So this nonsense where it was all over the internet and Twitter and people were trying to find out who you were talking to. No, I saw one picture, and if you guys want to go to Twitter and check it out, it's just one picture. But again, Phil has to exaggerate everything to try to prove a point. You guys know how he argues. He, whenever he wants to prove a point, he'll take one little nugget and then build his whole foundation on that one little nugget of, oh, see, one person did it, so that means everyone did it. And Phil, that's not how it works. All right, so we're gonna come up to the part here where he decides he wants to insult people.
These idiots trying to fucking pry into my private life. Now, there was nothing there that they could figure out or anything, but I just find it hilarious. That's how loserish these people are. When you say to me, Phil, you obsess too much about what your haters do. No. You don't have any idea the extents these people go to. Because trust me, if there was information here, they would have fucking called the number. They would have harassed people involved. They would have been all over it, because that's what they do. They're actual mentally unsound people. Normal people don't act like this. Okay? Normal people be like, oh, he had an important phone call he had to take out of nowhere. That's fine. No, to them, this is the opportunity to try to ruin Phil's life. You understand? Anything we could do, any private information, let's ruin Phil's life as much as we can. That's how fucked up, and just look at their Twitter accounts. They were doing it today. People were sending me this information. Just so you know, obsessed people are doing crazy things right now to you. That's great. I don't really need to know that. But man, to see them prove every point I've ever made about them right is pretty ironic, because they do it publicly. Yet people act like that doesn't exist. Oh, Phil, that's not happening. It's public. You can check their fucking Twitter feeds right now. They've posted it everywhere. Look, here's the screen cap. We tried to rip from the video and analyze and get the number, but we can't get it. It's too blurry. People are nuts. I mean it. No, that's not me making a joke. That's not me. Oh, Phil, you're talking about mentally ill is wrong. No. It's wrong if it's an exaggeration for the meant of insulting. I'm not trying to insult anyone. People who act like that are mentally unsound, and they should actually seek professional help or be directed to it. You don't do that kind of fucked up stuff. Who cares what this thing is that's going on that I'm going to tell you the full story of tomorrow? Why would you try to pry into my private life?
Now you notice that Phil always does this. So you hear him talk, right, and he insults. He makes the insult, right, and then he realizes, oh wait a minute, maybe I shouldn't have said that, right? So he changes the wording a little bit. So it became mentally ill to unstable. You notice how Phil does that. But Phil, it doesn't matter whether you do that or not. You know, you're essentially calling people mentally ill or mentally disabled or whatever the case is, and that's a big no-no. And of all people, Phil, you know you shouldn't be saying that. How many times have you gotten in trouble? Didn't you lose either your Streamlabs or your Stream Elements? It was one of those things where you ended up getting suspended, or you lost something. I can't remember what it was, but you lost something because you decided to insult people and call them mentally ill, mentally handicapped, or whatever the case is, and yet you still don't learn your lesson. And that's why it's funny, because he noticed that he did something wrong. So of course he has to stop and drink some of that gin. Oh my Lord. Yeah, so yeah, anyway, I'm a bit annoyed. I don't like when people use mental illness. You know, my stance on Boogie and how he uses mental illness to manipulate people. I don't like when Phil talks about, or insults people and basically calls them mentally ill. It's not appropriate. There are millions of people out there that have true mental illness, and for you to make it a slight or a joke is inappropriate. So guess what, Phil? The link is here to this video. Here's the timestamp. Make sure you report them to YouTube. Let them know what kind of scumbag they have on their platform. Peace out.